My name is Uncle Gooey. Have you ever lived in a basement? Leftovers from previous tenants. Do you dare to throw it away? July 2009. Some netizens posted on a forum. Tell yourself, when renting a basement in a family home of a university in Beijing, a series of bizarre events encountered. Let the uprooted landlord fall into it. Creepy. Go back in time to 2005. Owner through recruitment. Working for a company in Haidian District, Beijing. Because the company doesn't have a dormitory. No matter the accommodation, the first thing that comes out of the company. Just looking for a place to live, the landlord heard. A certain university family home not far from the company. There are rooms for rent, and it's cheap. There are a lot of buildings in that area that are old, only over 150 yuan per month, but not many people seem to live there. So I found it according to the address. To the family home, a fat middle-aged woman sat in the duty room, knitting a sweater vigorously. I heard from the landlord that I want to rent a house. Middle-aged women don't even talk about eyelids. Squeeze a sentence out of your teeth. -1, no more. -2, how many more? Register first if you want to live. The landlord expressed his desire to see the room first. Dawdled for a while. Middle woman. A large disc-like object was plucked from the wall. The whole disc is densely packed with keys hanging twice. That's all. The landlord followed him to the second basement floor. The landlord recalled that, how he felt at the time. It's like being in an ancient prison. The woman is carrying a large plate of keys in her hand. Walk ahead. Every step makes a clattering sound, and the landlord subconsciously looked to both sides, although there is nothing, but still a little eerily cool. After going down 2 flights of stairs, as soon as I turned the corner, I saw a thick concrete door. The concrete door faces a long passage. Closed doors on either side of the passage. Can't see a single figure. The light in the passage, not very bright, because of the roof. It's filled with pipes of varying thicknesses, so it's dark. The ventilation here is not good either. There is always a faint, musty smell in the air. When walking to the middle of the aisle, the woman stopped. The landlord looked up and saw number 206 written on the door. The woman flipped over the big disc for a long time. Finally found the key. After the door is opened, immediately you can smell a whimper. Say whether it smells bad or not. It's like the clothes are moldy. The woman immediately opened the window in the room. This is a semi-basement room. There is a window, although there is no light, but it can barely ventilate, so it's not very noisy in the house. The landlord glanced at it with his eyes. There is a single window on the left. Near the window, there is a writing desk and a chair. There is no other furniture. There are posters of some past celebrities on the wall, except for some waste paper on the ground that needs to be cleaned. The room is fairly clean at this time. The fat woman added that the house is cheap, but before the ugly words are said, there is no bathroom inside. You go out the door and go inside. The bathroom at the end. Unisex. Go to the toilet and watch yourself. Washing is just outside the toilet, but no hot water. If you want hot water to get -1, go to the boiling water room to hit it. $1 per pot. Never cook in the basement. No electric stove. There are fines for violating the regulations. In this way, the landlord and the woman are soft and hard. And finally, 150 bucks a month. Pay half a year's rent at a time and live in after taking the key. The landlord dragged his luggage down. After entering the house and closing the door, he began to make the bed because of carrying a big bag, also dragging a suitcase. So tired, the landlord doesn't want to get up after making the bed and lying down because he was lying with his head in it. Eyes are on the door. Only then did he realize there's something hanging on the hook behind the door. The landlord went over and took it off and took a look. It's a lady's sling vest. He thought to himself, maybe the last tenant forgot to take it with him. Then he hung it up again. Go back to bed. Sleep at the end. I slept for a long time. The landlord had a nightmare. Suddenly woke up. Open your eyes. It was pitch black. He fumbled up and turned on the light. It's very strange. I obviously didn't turn off the lights. Then I checked the time on my phone. It's past 1 a.m. The landlord simply sat on the bed for a while. I thought I couldn't sleep anyway. Let's just clean up the house. Swept the floor. The landlord took the clothes out of the box, hanging behind the door. Then I'm ready to put some small things in the drawer of the writing desk. When he opened one of the drawers and found a lot of used scratch paper inside, it looks like a dissertation. I took it out because I was busy. Even the waste paper on the ground. Put it in a garbage bag together. The first few days I moved in, everything is fine. I just don't think there's anyone in this basement. And then there's that toilet, which scares him, because the toilet has sound-activated lights, and not very sensitive. Every time I go to the door of the toilet, and it was dark inside, and after entering, I can always hear a strange sound. Sometimes it sounds like a dripping voice, and sometimes it's like a low cry. The landlord also asked that woman this question. Woman shows. It's all the sound of the drain upstairs. Not surprising. Later, the landlord found a more suitable job. You can take the manuscript back and write it. The landlord was in the house every day at that time. I basically don't go out, except for eating and going to the toilet. Earned $700 or $800 a month. But something weird happened during the spring festival that year. In the middle of the night, the landlord heard the chair in front of the writing desk ring. The sound of the drawer being opened again. When the landlord turns on the light, everything is normal again. Coincidentally, all the weirdness, all from the landlord. Throw that one away. It happened after the sling vest hanging behind the door. Is it just a coincidence? The landlord cleaned up the house that day. When he took off the clothes behind the door, I found the original sling vest still hanging there. So I took it down and threw it away with the bucket of trash. That night, the landlord slept until midnight. I seemed to hear a rustling sound in my ears. It seems that someone is writing on the paper. When he opened his eyes, the sight in front of him made his scalp tingle. A woman with long hair, wearing what the landlord just threw away during the day. That sling vest, sitting at the desk with your back to him. What is being written? The landlord almost shouted it out at that time. Fortunately, he gagged his mouth with the quilt in time. Close your eyes tightly. I keep hypnotizing myself in my heart. This is a dream. I don't know how long it has been. When the landlord opened his eyes again, and the woman had disappeared. The window was open, but the paper on the desk is still there. It's just that there's not a word on it. Strange that the landlord has never bought manuscript paper. Where did this paper come from? Encountered this ghost thing? The landlord was so frightened that he ran to the duty room wearing slippers. The evil thing about running into ghosts in the house. Say it carefully. A sense of unease flashed across the fat woman's face, but it recovered immediately and said it was impossible. You must be confused. The landlord told him, "I did see a woman sitting there writing, and the window is open. But the conclusion given by the fat woman is that the thief is unreasonable. Let the landlord quickly check if something is lost." When the landlord proposed to change a room, the fat woman told him, "-1 is still not available. Do you want to change it or change it?" The landlord proposed that he doesn't want to live there anymore. "I hope I can refund the money for the remaining 2 months." The woman told the landlord, "The money has been deposited into the public account. You can't return it. If you really don't want to live, you can move out immediately." This sentence has pinched the landlord. Go out alone. It's 2005 again. The landlord has no platform. The economy occurs, and the outcome. There is no way but to bite the bullet and continue to live. But then the nightmares continued. After the landlord returns to his house, I found a rope. Tie the window handles tight, and then threw away all the manuscript papers on the table, and dug out a fruit knife from the box. I fell asleep again with a fruit knife in my hand. When you wake up in the morning and go to the bathroom to brush your teeth, the landlord just picked up the water in front of the pool. I felt a figure flashing past me, just a flash into the bathroom. The landlord thinks that person's body shape and clothes very familiar. Suddenly remembered, isn't this the one who appeared in his room? The woman in the sling vest. Why is she here? And when she passed by just now, there were no footsteps. Thinking of this, the owner's face has not been washed, so hurry back. Just stepped out of the bathroom door. I felt like someone was following behind me, and it's the kind that sticks to its back. The landlord was too scared to look back. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught a glimpse of a long strand of hair. The building owner at that time was stiff. The heart is in the throat. I'm afraid it's like a bridge in a horror movie. Suddenly grabbed his neck from behind. The landlord recalled that. His situation. It's like meeting a wild dog on the road. Run but can't run. You have to pretend to be calm and walk slowly, but always be on guard against that thing. Will pounce. Finally reached the door of the room. The landlord opened the door trembling, then quickly entered the house and closed the door. At noon, the landlord was hungry. He tentatively opened the door and sealed it. After confirming that there is no danger, just came out and closed the door and ran quickly to the stairs. The landlord bought a bag of instant noodles and a ham sausage, sitting at the basement entrance and watching. At this moment, he felt extremely safe, at least what he sees now, all alive. Soon it was night again. The landlord reluctantly returned to the basement. When he went into the basement, found out that a new person had moved in next door. It's a bald, middle-aged man in his 40s. When the man saw him, she smiled and nodded at him. At this moment, the landlord felt that he was not alone. At least I saw someone alive here. Go back inside. The landlord habitually looked at the writing desk. Did not inform, just relieved. Then I lay down and read for a while. Dazed and fell asleep, but just when the landlord was half asleep and half awake, I felt like the door was opened in a trance. A man with long hair floated in. The landlord understands. The woman is back. At this moment, the owner wants to move, but it feels like something is holding it down. I can't even move my fingers. It's a ghost. Press. The landlord can only watch helplessly. Watch her float to her bed. I'm not so scared now. I also want to see what this woman is trying to do. Then suddenly there was a bang from the corridor. Then I heard the cry of a man. The owner can move at once. I sat up in bed. He turned to look around the room, and the woman had disappeared. Fortunately, it was a dream that opened. Take a look at the door. It turned out that the middle-aged man fell. After that, the landlord often dreams of that woman at night. He doesn't write at the desk every time. He's sitting on his bed, although he was not hurt, but the landlord can clearly feel it. Your body is getting weaker and weaker, afraid of cold and light. The owner knows he can't live here anymore. So the next day, I found 2 friends to help me move. When the landlord reached the basement, the fat woman in the duty room is not there. It seems to be out. Are you moving? You have to tell the landlord. Besides, the landlord still has a deposit here. It's not a loss assessment. So a few people chatted on the doorstep. The theme is that the landlord lives in this haunted house. Then a man passed by the door. I heard the landlord say that the basement is haunted. He stood down, paused for a while. He suddenly opened his mouth and said, "You're talking about the couple in the basement, right?" The couple is not right. The landlord said that he had met a woman. She has long hair. The man suddenly realized, it's a couple. Women are pursuing graduate studies in our school. The man is his husband. Came to us in 1999. The man seems to be a writer or something. Write books all day. Then I heard the man fucked a schoolgirl in the yard. The 2 got into a fight. In the end, the man exhausted the woman to death. I drank medicine myself. The entire basement was sealed off. It's rumored that it's haunted and unlucky. None of our residents go inside. I don't even look. These guys are open to money and open again. What a goddamn grandson. Then the owner thought of the bald man diagonally opposite him. Just ask Uncle. Is the man you mentioned bald? Yeah, I am. That's him. I've seen his dumb grandson before. It's a slut at a glance. When I stopped here, the owner simply didn't dare to take anything. People are scrambling to get in the car and run away. The car turned the corner. The landlord glanced back. In a trance, the landlord saw the door to the basement. There was a bald man, waving at him. From now on, the landlord will no longer dare to live in the basement. If you let Uncle Ghost take you to this basement for the night, what will you bring with you? End of current period. Favorite friends are welcome to subscribe. If you also have something that you can't explain, even creepy experiences, welcome to contribute to the ghost. See you next time.